Hi, Year 8. So, this week, obviously you've got the 2 lessons. This week we're going to use both lessons to create an artist research poster on Jon Burgerman, who you've looked at a little bit in lesson before we broke up, and also for the homework task last week. Some of you who had me as your teacher last year will already have a little bit of knowledge as to what an artist research poster is. An artist research poster is something which I'm hopefully going to put up in my classroom when we go back. And when someone looks at the poster, they should be able to clearly see, number one, who the artist is with a bold title. They should also be able to read some written information about the artist to explain who they are, what their work is like, what inspires them. There should be some imagery, so some images of the artist which you like. And then we're going to do a study, so we're going to do a drawing or a painting, whatever you prefer, of a piece of Jon Burgerman's work. So we're not going to get all of that done today. So please only do the parts which I demonstrate on the video. And I will do a part 2 for the lesson that we've got later on in the week. So the first thing that you're going to need is a ruler. Now, I want the poster to be A3. So I'll just show you for reference. So a normal piece of paper that you would have with a printer, like this one here, that's A4. So A3 is 2 pages of A4. Now, if you haven't got any A3 paper at home, then all you need to do is do it on 2 separate pages and then sellotape them together at the back at the end. So for the lesson today, I would recommend if you're using 2 pages of A4 to do the title and the written information on 1 page, and then you can use the other page next lesson to do the study and put some photos of the work in. So if it's A4, just work on the 1 page today. I'm just working on an A3, so it's nice and clear for you to see. First thing you need to do is a title. So we need to make it clear who the artist is. And to do that, I'm very simply going to get a ruler. I'm going to press lighter than me. I'm only pressing hard so that you can see. I'm going to do a ruler width, and then I'm going to do another ruler width underneath. Now, the title should also give a little bit of hindsight into what the artist's work is like. What style is it? It should be very fitting to that artist's work. So, Jon Burgerman, first thing that comes to my mind is creative characters. So we're going to actually create lettering, and we're going to change some of the letters into characters. So you don't have to follow my exact plan, but I'm going to go through how I would do it, and then obviously you can use that as inspiration and you can do your own unique one. So let me just try and get this zoomed in a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm not measuring the letters out because I don't feel like that's something that Jon Burgerman would do. He works quite free. I also don't want to be doing calligraphy or really fancy writing because, again, that doesn't match Jon Burgerman's young, fun, creative personality. I would be more likely to do bubble writing. So I'm going to start off by doing Jon and then Burgerman here. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap. Even though you're doing bubble writing, please remember that we want an even thickness of the lettering. So the letters where the lines are parallel should be an even thickness. I'm going to do an O. Now, I am going to change the O into something which Jon Burgerman, in fact, I'm going to do it a little bit higher for that reason. Something that Jon Burgerman has in his work. Okay, the clue is in the second part. I'm not going to do a burger yet. I will be doing a burger in a minute. I'm going to draw the O slightly higher, so it's not quite touching that line. I'm going to put 2 legs on the O. I'm going to do the inside circle I'm going to turn that out into a donut. So I'm going to add some sprinkles. Now, if you wanted to, you could also turn that into more of a character by adding arms, eyes, etc. It could be a pizza. O's are perfect to do an opportunity to do a character. So Jon, remember that Jon isn't spelt the usual way. It's just Jon. Now, I'm doing this in one big go, as you can see. But if you do more sketchy marks until you're sure on the writing, obviously it's just because I've had a little bit more practice. Then time for Burgerman. I don't actually do the inside of the letters until the end, but again, that's probably my own personal choice. So whatever lettering style you think suits Jon Burgerman. He is quite an urban artist. If you wanted to do drop shadows or anything like that, do more urban font, that's fine. So for Burger, I'm going to actually change the E into a burger. I'm going to add some sesame seeds. That's going to be an I. So, you know, be creative, have fun with it. Even the ones that are letters, you can add eyes to the mouths, hair. You can really do whatever you think is best. Be creative. I'm only doing this to show you an example. I'm not expecting everyone to copy my examples. To be completely honest, that's not showing much initiative. I would rather you actually do some yourself. It's hard for me to see here because I'm looking at the camera because of the tripod. So A again is a good one to do a character on. Okay, so Jon Burgerman, I'm just going to add in pause to that and then rub out those guidelines and add colour to it. So think about Jon Burgerman colour. Okay, you're not going to have really bland, dull colours. Does not use dull colours. He uses bright colours. He does use black, but that does not mean that he uses dull colours. So have a look at his work. And you should be telling the reader of this poster, whether it's the writing or a study or anything, the colours which he uses and the style which he's trying to create at all times. If you rub out little parts of your letters while you're doing that, don't worry, you can just add them back in. For the letters, it's up to you how you colour them in, okay? But I would not do block colouring. So your options are tone. So I'm just going to pick a colour. If I was to do this R in tone, I would outline nice and neatly. And then small circular motion. Fade it into the middle. Done loads of work on Jon Burgerman, and you've also seen a lot of his work, so think about the techniques that we've used in those lessons and apply them to this poster, okay? Something like that. Your other option is to do a colour fade or two colours fading into one another, so whatever you prefer. Once you've done the title and you've added the colour in, then it is time for you to do your written research. So you need to have 2 paragraphs. It's up to you whether you want to do long, thin paragraphs, whether you want to do 2 shorter ones, whether you want to do them in splatters. I really don't mind, but I would like you to measure the lines which you're going to write on so that they are evenly spaced. So I'm just going to do a centimetre gap between my lines. Okay, and I'm going to talk about what I want you to write on each paragraph. So once I've said what I want you to put in that paragraph, I'd like you to pause the video and then complete that part. Okay, so the first one, I want to know, who is Jon Burgerman? Okay, where and when was he born? Where does he now live? And what does his work include? So what types of things does he do? Does he draw, paint? Does he do a combination of things? Has he worked for any big brands? He has, that's a clue. So any important information that you can find about Jon Burgerman, key facts, okay, be selective. I'm looking for 4 to 5 sentences there. Okay, so not loads and loads of writing. Choose what you think are the most interesting bits about Jon Burgerman that you would like to know if you were to look at this poster. So that's paragraph 1. So I'm just going to write key facts. If you want to type up the writing and stick it on, that's absolutely fine. If you want to handwrite it, again, that's absolutely fine. And I'm going to do my paragraph 2 here. So again, I'm going to do centimetre gaps. The whole poster should look like a piece of art, okay? At any opportunity, you wanting to make it look visually appealing, so someone would go over and they would look at that poster and they would want to read it. So where we're doing these lines, think about it. Could you apply colour? Could you do coloured boxes? Could you do the writing in colour? Anything that can make it more appealing visually, then try and include that into your poster. So we've got key facts for paragraph 1. Paragraph 2 is personal opinion. So in art, it's very, very important not only to find out the key information about an artist, but we want to know what you think about that work. You should be able to discuss that work in detail. So what do you like about Jon Burgerman's work? Do you like it? Okay, if you dislike his work, then that's fine. You can tell me why you dislike his work, and if there's any areas which you think would make his work better, that's fine. You can comment on that also. So overall, do you like his work? Yes or no? Why? What aspects are you the most impressed with in terms of Jon Burgerman's work or what he has achieved as an artist? So your own personal opinion in a paragraph there. And you'll notice we've got 2 gaps here. So that gap there and that gap there. That is for photographs. So I would like you, if possible, okay, if you are not able to do this, then that is fine. Just tell me that when you upload your task to Firefly today. I want you to have photos. Now the photos can be in black and white, they can be in colour, obviously whatever you've got access to. Photos of 2 pieces of Jon Burgerman that you really like. And I want you to stick them and present them onto your poster as well. I'll just zoom out. Okay, that's all that you should get done today. If you get that finished, as I've said, think about how you can make it more visually appealing. Can you add colour into the paragraphs? Can you do a negative space glow around the photos? Could you even apply more of an effect around the lettering? So if you were to go around the lettering, like so, really close. All the way around. I'm not going to do it all, but I'll just show you. quickly one part, so I'd carry that all the way around. You can apply another colour technique in there, so really showcase your skills on the poster. And if we look at the poster as a whole, you will notice, there we go, that there is a blank space here, and that is for us to do next lesson. So next lesson, you will need to use a printer, and I will explain everything then. I don't want to confuse you too much, but if you could possibly look at the task at break time before the lesson, and then you can print out what you need to for that lesson rather than having to print it out during the lesson time. Don't forget to upload a photograph of your work at the end of today's lesson, so stop a couple of minutes, 5 minutes before the end of the lesson, and make sure that's uploaded so I can see and double check that everyone is ready to do the next task on Friday's lesson. I look forward to seeing what you do. Thank you very much, boys.